Some of these wounded Ukrainian soldiers have spent weeks without medical attention. 5 buses carrying the troops from the besieged Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol have arrived in the Russian-controlled town of Novoazovsk after Moscow opened up an evacuation corridor. It has been relentlessly targeting this industrial hub for more than a month. It's believed to be the final holdout before the port city of Mariupol falls entirely to Russia. President Vladimir Zelenskyy indicated the Azovstal combat mission is effectively over. Further west in south-central Ukraine, this aerial footage shows the heavy damage across parts of Kherson. And in Odessa, close to the border with Moldova, near total destruction as Russia's attack on Ukraine approaches the 3-month mark. But as the war rages on, the European Union is still unable to agree on what would be one of the most severe punishments for the Kremlin yet, a ban on its oil imports.
Russia's President Vladimir Putin is currently welcoming leaders of the Russian-led Collective Security Treaty Organization in Moscow. Belarus' Alexander Lukashenko is one of the presidents joining the military alliance meeting at the Kremlin. The summit is timed to coincide with the 30th anniversary of the Collective Security Treaty, and we're seeing live pictures of the venue here. Now, tensions between Russia and NATO nations are currently growing over a NATO membership bid by Finland and Sweden. Members of the CSTO include Russia, Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan.
Now, hours after Sweden and Finland confirmed intentions to join NATO, the membership plans have hit a roadblock. The opposition is Turkey, whose president has said that he would not approve either bids. Sweden and Finland need all of NATO's 30 members to approve their applications. And the ratification process is expected to take up to a year. Turkey's objection, however, have thrown a wrench in their plans. Turkey's main objection is the willingness of the 2 Scandinavian countries to host members of a Kurdish groups that Ankara deems as terrorists.
President Joe Biden has ordered the re-establishment of a U.S. troop presence in Somalia to help local authorities combat the Shabaab militant group. The move reverses an order from Biden's predecessor Donald Trump, who in late 2020 pulled nearly all U.S. forces from the East African nation as he sought to wind down U.S. military engagement abroad during his final weeks in office.
The purpose here is to enable a more effective fight against al-Shabaab by local forces, and al-Shabaab has increased in their strength and poses a heightened threat.
It's the deadliest mass shooting of the year in the US, and police say they know why the accused gunman did it. This was about killing black people, as many as possible. Before the shooting rampage that left 10 dead, the 18-year-old gunman posted an online screed claiming white people in America were being replaced by people of colour. It's called replacement theory. It's not the first killing by self-proclaimed white supremacists. Pittsburgh, Charleston in South Carolina, and even Charlottesville, when right-wing extremists chanted about replacement theories as they marched, have all been touched by the violence. A poll released last week suggested 1 in 3 Americans believe there's a program underway to replace those born in the US with immigrants for electoral gain.
The United Kingdom will send the first batch of asylum seekers to Rwanda in the coming days, a month after a deal to resettle illegal migrants was signed with the East African country. Under the scheme, for which Kigali will be paid $160 million, asylum seekers arriving on small boats across the English Channel from France will be immediately transferred to Rwanda, where their paperwork will be processed. In an interview with a local daily, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson said that 50 people who had arrived illegally in the country after crossing the Channel had been informed that they would be flown to Rwanda. Those affected have between 7 and 14 days to file objections. Clashes erupted overnight in Libya's capital between rival armed factions following weeks of a protracted struggle for the premiership. On Monday night, Fathi Bashagha, who was appointed prime minister by the parliament, entered Tripoli with the aim of setting up his government. His entry triggered a fight with troops loyal to the head of the government of national unity, Abdul Hamid Beiba, who was refused to recognize Bashagha's appointment. On Tuesday, Bashagha's side said he and his ministers had left Tripoli in order to, quote, preserve the safety of citizens. Bashagha, who has served as Libya's interior minister in the past, is backed by renegade General Khalifa Haftar.
Taliban has dissolved 5 key departments: Human Rights Commission, Election Commission, Ministry of Women's Affairs, High Council for National Reconciliation, which was once a key security council that protected the Afghan constitution, and lastly, Ministries for Peace and Parliamentarian Affairs. What is Taliban's justification for this move? Financial crunch. Afghanistan faces a budget deficit of $501 million. So while announcing their first annual budget, they deemed some departments unnecessary. One can't help but notice that all sections shut down are crucial to a stable social and political life. The Taliban did say that the bodies could be reactivated in future if needed.
One person was killed and 10 others were injured after an explosion took place in Karachi's Bombay Bazaar. The place where the explosion took place is a densely populated area and is also the business hub of the city, where shops sell plastic goods, textiles and hardware items. The explosion took place late on Monday evening. Karachi Administrator Murtaza Wazab said that at least 6 people were rushed to a nearby hospital in an injured condition.